I feel Duno needs no introduction for listeners of hip-hop who have been around the scene.
Allow me to reintroduce myself, I'm Duno Man.
It's time to hit you with the truth. But would you know what the truth is? The truth is, in the truth is where truth is. Truth lives in me, so I'm a free prisoner. Living in the bars, I be spitting for my listeners. My lyrics are the realest, you a counterfeit. It won't be obvious if you close your mouth a bit, but you like to hear your own voice like the sound of it. So I'm about to put your spirit in 1,000 pigs. Send them crashing down the hill, watch you lose it all. You a fraud, you're something like Wayne Mugu Fall. You just love to brag about your juice and all. Fake like the juice you flaunt, only proves you small. Fools wanna be who they're not. Are you hot? No, you're not. You were cold, you were just like the 3 days old beans porridge in the pot. You were prostitute selling your soul to the highest bidder. You claiming you happy for Duno, but inside you beater. You spitting basic like an integrated science teacher. I'm complex, I'm metaphysical science leader. Hip hop is alive, believe it. She reincarnated and relocated to my city. You wanna see real hip hop? Come to Benin, city of the great king. That's where I've been in. Word.
Officially, this is like your second project.
No, the third. There was initiation extended.
And
Yes, and now the Love Conference.
So what's the vision behind the Love Conference?
Okay, you see my shirt says music is the weapon, you know. So the way I see music is, I don't see music as just a tool for entertainment alone. You know, I see music as a channel for communication. So the way I view my music is like me talking to people. It's like having a conversation with you, you know, with a group of people. So the Love Conference is basically like a conference. You know, I would have called, you know, found a hall somewhere and brought in a lot of people to talk about love, the concept of love, you know. But my own channel, the way I communicate is through my music. So it's a conference, love conference, a conference talking about love. The theme is love. Love is the most misunderstood concept on earth, but it's the most important thing to talk about, because everything about the world today, all the problems we have in the world today is based on love. The basis is love. So it's like greed, the love for power, the love for money, the love for love. Think about it. Every problem in the world today is a love problem. In Nigeria, people are desperate to get into political positions, to do anything and everything to get to political positions. Love for power. Leaders, looting, corruption, love for wealth. And that love for wealth extends to other social issues, robberies, fraud, love for money. Relationships, people not caring about the next person. It's all about them, you know, when they're in relationships. Love for self. You get love for ambition, excessive love for achieving your goals. Everything is a love problem. So I'm addressing this issue in this whole project, in this whole album. But instead of calling people together and actually talking to them, I'm doing it through my music. So I'm communicating and talking with my audience through my music. So that's why it's called the Love Conference, basically.
Fine. Too Many, the official single of the album, The Love. Is it The Love Conference? Yeah. Was kind of endorsed last year by an American rapper called Crooked Eye.
Yes, sure.
So, how did that moment feel?
That was huge. That was big. You know, we listened to Crooked Eye. We listened to Slaughterhouse. You know, for a rapper of that class, that kind of class, to quote your lyrics. So it's not like he just saw the title somewhere and interested him. He actually downloaded the song, played the song, and took a quote out of it and put on Twitter. So that was huge for me. You know, people told me to actually frame that thing and put. I think I'll still do it. I still have that tweet. I think I'll just frame it and put it somewhere in my living room. So every day I can just look at it. That's a huge achievement for me, man. Trust me.
Is this project different from the previous ones you've actually churned out?
Yes, very different. For the initiation, I was at a certain point in my life. Initiation is like I was starting out. That was the first project. Of course, before then I put out music, but initiation was my first body of work, so that's why I called it initiation. The start. You get. Initiation extended was because before the initiation, and I thought after the initiation and I put out another project, but it took a lot of time. So that was initiation extended, meaning that my start, what I thought was my start, had actually gone beyond the planned time. But for the Love Conference, I'm in a totally different place. I'm in a place where I consider my music as something more useful than just putting out music to make people dance. I have nothing against people that put out music to entertain people, but for me, I've gotten to a higher level where I think music is actually a tool for communication. So that's where I am with the Love Conference. That's where I'm now addressing issues with my project. For the initiation and initiation extended, I was rapping and showing a lot of skill. Yes, I was very conscious and still making a lot of sense and addressing a lot of social issues. But for the initiation, before the Love Conference, the whole team is built around the topic. You know, I'm actually taking out time on a whole project to address an issue. You know, I might not come out and just sound like topic one, blah, blah, blah. But from the first song to the last, when you play them, you can see that connection. You can see that underlying theme from track one to the end. You know, addressing issues. It might come in a line somewhere in one of the songs. It might come in the entire song. It might come in a story. But in total, what we're doing is we're addressing the issue, the most misunderstood concept on the planet, and the most important topic on the planet called love. We're addressing it in music, through music, and we're communicating.
Judging by the style of rap now, the type of rap songs worldwide, and to an extent, the type of songs churned out in Nigeria. So where do you place the type of sound you're going to put out now? That is the type of hip hop. Do you think it has a place? What you're putting now, do you think it has a place? Is it timeless? Is it for the now? Or is it a blast from the past?
Honestly, I really don't think about my sound and if it's relevant in comparison with what's being churned out now. You know, I really don't care. You know, I'll be blunt with it, I don't care. You know, for me, music is a gift, and it's something I must do to be at peace with myself. You know, and it's irrespective of whatever any other person is doing, honestly. You know, I put out music, it comes, I write it down, I hear a sound that fits what I've conceived, you know, in my heart, and I put it out. Whatever anyone else is putting out, I really don't care. But what I'm setting off is, I don't know how large the audience will be. I don't know how large the audience will be. I hope it's really large, but for me, what's most important is that I have at least one person listening. As long as I can have one person listening, I'll keep out churning out music. And I know that the sound, whatever era it's from, is dope. You know, it's dope, and the message is timeless. You understand? So with that message and with that, what I do is I do timeless hip hop. I do hip hop from the golden era, you know. So, and that timeless hip hop. So a timeless sound matched with a timeless message. We're making the best kind of music right now. So I really don't care what anyone else is doing.
So what will you tag your style of hip hop as? Is it conscious? Is it streets? Or is it just bubblegum rap or the trap sound?
It's spiritual. It's spiritual music. It's conscious, but it's beyond conscious. You know, conscious is at one level. Me, I've gone beyond conscious. I'm spiritual with my music right now. You know, you can listen to my music and be blessed. You can listen to my music and get a miracle in your house. You know, that's the kind of music I'm putting out right now.
The way you sounded, it will seem as if this is a gospel project.
Gospel. You know, I always think that there's nothing like gospel music. First of all, let me address that. It's nothing like gospel music. Gospel music is, you're either doing hip hop, you're either doing soul, you're doing R&B, but the message is supposed to be gospel. But what gospel does, I'm just talking to all artists out there that call themselves gospel artists. You know, it's not a bad thing. It's a fantastic thing. But branding gospel music, what it does most times is that it puts you in a box. So you might be more talented, you might be doper than a, in quote, secular artist. But because you are branded gospel, they will only play you on Sunday morning. You know, they reserve you for the Sunday morning shows. And at the end of the day, Sunday morning we're on our way to church. We're not going to hear you. So only a few people get to spread that message. I think the purpose of music is to spread a message. So if you are categorizing yourself as gospel and you are not, based on that, you are not spreading your message, and I think there's a problem. However, for me, I do hip hop music. I am a Christian. So it means my beliefs influence what I talk about, how I talk about it, to whom I talk about it. You know, it influences that I'm a Christian, you know, and I'm real. So I don't act like who I'm not. I am totally real in my music. So if I'm real in my music, it means everything about me, my values, my beliefs must reflect in the kind of music I put out. So that's why I sound spiritual. I am a spiritual person, you know, and I believe you should be spiritual too, because life is spiritual, really. So that's it. I do music to reach your soul, to reach your mind, to reach your heart. That's what I do.
Okay, fine. So where do you actually see Nigerian hip hop at the moment? What do you feel about Nigerian hip hop at the moment?
Yeah, I think hip hop music is not a very viable brand, you know, and I don't think it's a Nigerian problem. I think internationally too, hip hop music is not as viable. I might be wrong, but you have a right to argue with me. Hip hop might not be very viable in Nigeria, you know. So what I believe is this: we'll always have our niche, we'll always have a market, we'll always have an audience. Audience might not be as large, but if you believe, you know, if you believe in your own sphere, if you believe that you have a gift and you have a message, I think you should keep doing what you're doing, irrespective of what the market thinks. However, the biggest problem I see with hip hop is that we're trying to use the same model that these other guys are using. We can't succeed that way. The model is totally different. Hip hop is a very unique product. So two things: one, keep doing what you're doing as long as you believe in it. But two, also realize there's a business aspect to it, you know. So if there's a business aspect to it, it means that you must also consider that part, you know. So you must also have an understanding of branding, of the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, promotion, place. You must have an understanding of that and know that you must consider these factors when you're putting out music. Now, you might not have as large as a market as many of these other genres have, but you have your market and you know how to feed that market. And if we keep doing that as hip-hop artists, I think there will always be a place for hip-hop in Nigeria. It might not be as large as the other categories, but there will always be a place for hip-hop in Nigeria, and that's what's most important.
Okay, so who should we expect, like the features, the collaborators? And we can observe that Michael Excel is conspicuously absent.
Okay.
Judging by the track list.
Okay, looking at the track list, you can see that Michael Excel is very absent. And that's very strange because in the last, as far as I can remember, all the songs I've done have been produced by Michael Excel. Michael Excel is like my partner in rhyme. It's my partner in music. You get. But this album is totally different. This album is co-produced by NuuGame. NuuGame is a fantastic human being. He's produced most of the songs. He coordinated the whole album. He's my brother, my friend. living in California. So this album is basically me in Nigeria here in collaboration with someone in California. So he produces the beat, sends the beats, I record here, I send over to him. He does the mixing, does the mastering. We talk, we collaborate, we put out the masterpiece. You know, so this album basically was for the international market and the Nigerian market. However, in making the album, the focus, you know, was largely on the international market. Let me put it that way. You know, so Michael Excel, I have a project with Michael Excel. It's almost done. A full album co-produced by Michael Excel. It's almost done. But for this one, this is the first one this year. I honestly believe that the one with Michael Excel will be out in a few months' time. This is the first for this year. It's the Love Conference. We're dropping it near Valentine for certain reasons. It is co-produced by NuuGame. We came up with a theme. It was something that was both at the back of our minds at the same time. And I must say that this album was recorded over 2 Saturdays. First Saturday, 2 Saturdays and 1 day. First Saturday, 4 songs recorded. Second Saturday, 4 songs recorded. Last day, that was January 1st. I recorded 1 extra one, Tough Love, this year, at the beginning of the year, just to add. The album was done long before 2021, but I just decided to add one more. So we recorded Tough Love January 1st and added to the album, making it 9 complete songs, 1 intro, 1 interlude. So that's what it's about. Michael Excel is coming. You know, we're not divorced yet. You know, Michael Excel is coming. The project is coming.
Is it an album?
Yes, an album. It's okay. When we started out, we intended to make 1 song. You know, now let me tell you the story. My elder brother hooked me up with I Stole Your Beat video to NuuGame. NuuGame sees it and is like, wow, who's this dude? I want to do a song with him. Sends me, we did a collaboration on one song on his own project. Song comes out, it's dope. He says, okay, let's do a song together. We'll do 1 song. I'm like, okay, let's put out an EP, 4 songs. No, he sends a beat for 1 song. So I hear the beat and I write to it. And I'm like, why don't we do an EP? So he sends 3 more beats and that's 4 songs. Then we record 4 songs and it's cool. I'm like, okay, let's stretch it a bit. Let's do 7. I want you to do above 7 if you have an album. So let's do 8, you know. Then we do 8 and then we do 9. You know, the categorization actually for an album is generally it's beyond 7. So we have 9, so it's an album.
So that which is funny, which is real funny. The reason is most body works, even if it's 10, 20, they are regarded as EPs these days. I don't know. Probably, maybe the traditionally is just 4 to 7 tracks. You have EPs. Then anything exceeding 7 tracks, you have LPs or albums. So, what do you really feel about this new methods of categorizing projects, mixtapes, EPs, and albums? What are the differences?
I think yeah, the lines are blurred. There's no clear-cut line between what an EP is on an album. These days, what an EP is on an album is what a mixtape is. You know, traditionally, there was a difference between them, but these days I can decide to put out a 20-track project and call it an EP. and nobody's going to arrest me for calling it an EP. You get, but traditionally, commercially, what obtains is an EP is between 4 to 7 songs. An album is 7, like 8 and above. A mixtape can be whatever number, but it's typically not original beats. You know, so you can take out beats from anywhere and put it out and put your voice on it and put it out there, and it's a mixtape. But these days, there's nothing clear anymore. I can decide to take 20 original beats and record on it and call it a mixtape. You know, really, it's now based on what individuals think and what they decide to call it. You know, there's no clear cut lines anymore. A mixtape basically differs from an album this way. A mixtape doesn't have a clear theme. So you can't draw a line from the first song to the last song, a theme from the first song to the last song. An album is supposed to have that. And clearly, the Love Conference, the theme is clearly defined. And from the first to the last song, you can you can put a thread, and you see the thread, you know, tying each song to the next one. You understand? So it is clearly an album, clearly.
So by your definitions or distinguishing of EPs, mixtapes, LPs, / albums, so how many projects do you think, how many albums have you actually released?
I call the first one an EP.
Yeah, that was like 4 tracks.
No.
4 or...
Initiation was in 4 tracks. Initiation could have been called an album. Initiation had...
Not the extended play.
No, Initiation had beyond 7 songs, I think. At least 7 songs. But I believe beyond. I can't recall now. It's been a while. But Initiation fit the definition of an EP. Could have been an album, but it's an EP clearly. It fell within the confines of what we'll call an EP. Extended was a lot longer, you know. So Extended actually had some songs from the Initiation, you know. If I was going to categorize, I'll categorize Initiation as an EP. I'll say Extended is...
Your first album?
It's an album, the first album.
So this is your sophomore?
Yes, it is.
So you made mention about NuuGame being in US, you being in Benin City, Nigeria. So what was the recording process like?
It was very exciting. I've never done this before.
How did you guys create concept? Is it just he wants this and you want that, or you share the ideas and execute whatever comes out?
Okay, this is how it worked. NuuGame will send me a ton of beats. So you send me a number of beats and I'll play them one after the other. And I'll say, whoa, well, I like this one. You know, I like that one. And I'll pick from the beats several beats he will send. Then I'll write to the beat. You know, for some of the beats he might, let me think, which one? I think the only one that he was very specific on how it should go was Too Many. He actually did a voice note, which is on the album. So that voice note you hear on the album was not the interlude you hear before Too Many was not meant to be an interlude. It's not like we went and recorded an interlude for the album. NuuGame actually sent me a voice note telling me how he wanted me to flow on Too Many. After hearing it, I'm like, okay, do you know what? Put this voice note in front at the beginning of Too Many. That's how that interlude came about. Just like the intro. MoFame actually sent me a voice note telling me about how quickly we should put out a body of work or put out a new song. Because he was like, yeah, people are feeling it, we need to. So he sent me a voice note telling me. And I heard it, I'm like, wow, we just got an intro. And I sent to NuuGame, I was like, listen to this. And it's like, wow, this sounds like an intro. I'm like, exactly what I was thinking. So basically the recording process was NuuGame sends me beats, I pick the ones that appeal to me in a certain way. You know, like when I heard Too Many, I knew I was going to do Too Many. When I heard Love Is The Reason, the moment I heard the beat, I knew the kind of lyrics I wanted to put on it. You know, the moment I heard Unconditional Love, I knew what I wanted to say. The moment I heard EA, I knew exactly how. And by the way, EA, the voice you hear on EA is my mom. It's my mom. Voice notes my mom sent to me. That's what I put on EA. So when you listen to EA, those are actually words that my own mother sent to me, you know, and I believe that the love of a mom and the wisdom of mothers are universal. So if my mom sends me voice notes to advise me and I put them on a record for you, I believe that they are also very relevant for you. So you should listen to them and pay close attention and take, you know, and rank them importantly, you know, and apply them to your own life, really.
It appears you have a clear favorite in out of all the songs in your new album. So tell us, or should we just tell you that EA is your favorite track in the album?
No, not exactly. I love EA is in a different category. You know, it's a different category because each time I hear it and I hear my mom's voice, I'm like, wow. You know, I put my mom on the record, and you know the funny thing is, my mom really never supported my music. You know, never supported my music until she, after a while, she got to understand that there's nothing she could do about it. You know, it was always a struggle. Now, having my mom on the record it's fantastic. It's a blessing. It's a different feeling. But for me, my favorite song is "Love Is the Reason," and I'll tell you why. You see, "Love Is the Reason" is a story, you know, and it tells the whole process. It says the whole life cycle of a relationship, from the first phase, the infatuation phase, you know, where everything the person does is just awesome and fantastic, and they just seem like they are perfect and they can never make mistakes. It goes from the initiation phase to the real phase, you know, the phase I call the love phase, because that's what really defines if you love the person or not, because the infatuation is gone, so you're actually now making choices to love someone. So it goes from that to that phase, and to the phase where you now actually decide, you know, actually have the understanding of what really is, and you decide to love a person irrespective of how you feel. Well, that's what love really is. Love is irrespective of how you feel. It doesn't depend on feelings. So the day you stop feeling and you start choosing to love irrespective of how you feel, then you are actually in love. You know, so that song is what tells the story. So it's for couples, it's for people in relationships, whatever kind of relationship, you know, even if it's in relationship with a colleague, if a very basic friendship, even if it's that kind of relationship, it also goes through that phase where you meet someone and you're excited and you get to really know the person and you see the flaws and the imperfections, and it actually seems like that person is not as fantastic as the person is, you know, but then you choose to love the person irrespective of what you see and how you feel about the person, you know. So that song actually encapsulates what love is supposed to be, where you choose someone. It's a choice and not a feeling. You know, the mistake we make most times is that we think love is the feeling. So, you know, that dopamine that goes to your brain when you see someone you are attracted to or you are infatuated about, you know, we think that's what love is. But love actually starts where that ends. And this song explains the whole process. So that's my best song in the project.
All right, fine. So tell us where we can actually get the album.
The album will be out on all digital platforms. It's going to be released in the US. So some of the platforms that to be available on, we might not be able to have access to it over here. For example, Spotify. I think it's a bit difficult. But for the rest, iTunes, Amazon, is going to be on all of them. You know, it's going to be great. It's a dope album. I've said it myself. It's a dope album, but my intention on the album was not to show too much lyrical dexterity or prowess. You know, although you will see lyrical prowess on it, but that was not my intention. My intention was to send a message. So as much as I could, I tried to make my lyrics as simple as possible, you know, so it could be understood by the average person, the person with basic education. You can understand my lyrics on that project. You get, so it's not about, I wasn't pursuing puns and punchlines and too much wordplay, although you will find them there. But my intention was to send a message, and I believe that if you listen to the album over time, you will catch the message I was trying to send, and to be totally understood, and that stuff you can apply to your life, you know, music you can apply to your life and make your life better. That's what we do.
Okay. I think that's about, you've discussed extensively about the new project, which is good. So we actually want to take you away from that. So who is your favorite MC of all time?
Favorite MC of all time.
You have to give us Nigerian and okay, worldwide.
Nigeria Mode 9. Nigeria Mode 9. International. Nas International.
So
There's-
favorite, okay.
Nas KRS-One. I know this. It's close, but I think Nas.
Okay.
I'll pick Nas.
Favorite hip hop producer of all time.
Premier. That will never change.
How about Nigerian?
Michael Excel. What am I? I'm not even thinking about it. Super Michael Excel.
Okay. There's a line in Too Many that actually reference women.
Yeah.
So what's your take about feminism?
Feminism. I think. Okay. Now, if I've not seen any definition, real definition, one universal definition of what feminism is. So it's really difficult. Most times I talk to one feminist in quotes and I hear one version, I talk to another one and I hear another version. So what I would say is if it's about ensuring equality for women, ensuring that, for example, I'm a woman, I'm smart, have all the credentials, to be in a certain position, and a man has the same. We should be given equal opportunities. You get? If that's what feminism is, then fantastic. Feminism is a great thing. But if feminism is about roles and gender roles and saying, women should be in a setting of a family. I really don't have. If a boy and a girl are dating, I feel there are no rules and there are no universal rules to how they should live. So a man cannot want to impose his authority or feel he's entitled to some certain kind of treatment as a boyfriend. I don't know about that. But if feminism is challenging the structure called marriage and saying that men and women should be exactly the same within the context of marriage and family, I would say it's totally very wrong. A man is physiologically different from a woman. So I don't know why we should believe that a man and a woman are psychologically same. They are psychologically different. So it means that strengths and weaknesses for men and women are different. And within the context of a relationship, in marriage, a family, which feminism tends to challenge a lot. What it is a partnership. So it means the roles differ. You get? In everything, there's a leadership. You get? And based on the physiological and psychological composition of a man and a woman, it's natural most times that a man should take the lead. You understand? So it means that the roles are different. But what's most important is the partnership. So a woman should clearly understand her roles. A man should clearly understand his roles. And they should work together, being the best in the roles they are playing. They should work together, in a partnership and take this ship to the destination it should go to. There's no room for competition. There's no room for what roles. There's no room for asking what roles the other one is playing and trying to play. There's really no need. Be the best at the roles that it appears that nature has given you to play, and partner with someone that is playing a different role and see how together the both of you can make the best out of life together. That's what I think.
All right, fine. So how do you define lyricism?
Lyricism. Never thought of it before, honestly. But if I was to define it now, I'll say lyricism is about putting words together in a way that, one, it conveys a message. Two, it shows that you have skill in how you put those words together. It's like an artist with different colors of paint. So you have blue, yellow, red, and these are the words. So the average person just takes the colors and tries to put them together in a very basic way. But an artist takes the same paint and is able to put them together, and you see them and you are amazed. You know, that's the same thing with words and lyricism. You take words together as you paint, and you put them together, and you paint the whole picture with words. You know, different words, different colors, and someone sees it and it's amazing. Like, wow, see what you created with words that we speak every day. See what you are able to create out of it. You know, I think that's what lyricism is about.
There has been a surge in COVID-19 deaths over the past month.
Let's do this. Yeah. Now what the world needs is a little more love, a little less religion and a lot more God, a little more tolerance, a lot less wars, a lot less poverty, a lot more jobs, a little more hope and a little more faith, a little more tenderness and less hate, a little more food and a lot more plates and a lot more youths recognizing that they're great. Cause Africa, we heard too many lies, too many die, too many tribes to unify, too many blind leaders coming into their too many false elections, let the people decide, too many minds wasted, lost too many lives, the flesh is a prison, too many people inside, too many searching for love, fear, too many times, too many damn, too many times, too many human beings with no humanity. Too many celebrities celebrating vanity. The wash up in money, economic paganity. That's too many people forgetting about eternity. Too many poor people with too many offsprings. People dying to orphans,
Some
too
were
many
shot,
coffins.
others
Too many
had their
orphans, we
throats
got
cut.
too many suffering, not enough precautions. Too many abortions.
There's a song on the project, Bible. I think that's going to be the most controversial song, apart from Tough Love. You know, so the two songs that people might find difficult to understand. You know, but my social media handles are there at Duno Militant, Instagram, at Duno Militant, Twitter, Duno Militant, Facebook. So if you have any questions regarding those songs, Tough Love and Bible, you know, before you make any judgments, just holler at me and ask questions so I can break it down for you. Peace.
You know, what do you know about Duno?